am going to do a video to see if I can help other homeschoolers or help those who are thinking about homeschooling. I know homeschooling can become overwhelming, just thinking about it. But really and honestly, it's not once you get it done. Once you get it done, once you figure it out, and then once it's smooth sailing. I mean, maybe the kids is not so much, or routines and stuff like that may not be, but in the process of becoming a homeschooler, these are just some tips and things that I think would help you if you're wanting to homeschool. I think would um, help you get the process going, knowing just some things that may help you start the beginning of the homeschool. So I got I got a notebook that these are the things that I did that I have seen suggestions on Facebook groups, things like that, on how to start homeschooling. So the first one is, and is the most important, I think, is look up your state laws. Um, some states don't require you to send in a notice of intent, that you can just go withdraw your kids and then they're at home. I know Oklahoma, you don't have to send in a notice of intent, anything. You pull your kids out and homeschool. Arkansas, you have to send in a notice of intent, and if it's during the school year, you have to wait at least, I think it's 14 days, 10 days, 14 days. Wait 14 days, and then they approve it, and then you can withdraw. Unless you can get a waiver saying that you want to pull them right then. Number two is decide on if you want a secular or religious curriculum. When I started homeschooling, I knew I wanted secular. Not because I'm anti-religion, because I'm not. I just wanted just to be a more, I guess, secular homeschooler. I wanted to teach the things that I learned, but add more to it. So I learned a secular. I want my kids to grow up and I guess decide on if they wanted to, if they want to explore religion-based curriculum, things like that, which is totally okay with me. I just am a more secular homeschooler at this moment. The next one is decide on what kind of teaching and learning styles. Teaching styles is what you want to teach, how you want to teach. Learning styles is it's based on what your kids are. So some are more hands-on, some are more auditory, some more can learn through literature, things like that. Decide on how your kids are going to learn and how you can teach. I know there are several different teaching styles and learning styles. I know a big popular one is the Charlotte Mason. I know they are. It's more of a literature-based curriculum type teaching curriculum. And the next one is find out what you want your budget to be for curriculum. I know some people don't have a budget. They can spend $800-900 per kid, while like me, I try to be frugal. I tried to keep it as cheap as possible. So my goal when it comes to finding curriculum for Caden and Will when Carson starts school was to be as cheap as possible. I know that sounds bad, but I mean, I went on Amazon and I bought used textbooks. I've used a lot of resources off of YouTube and Netflix and Pinterest just to incorporate it all in there. And there are several, which I have a video, which I will post it right here, about free or cheap homeschooling resources. So if you want to find some, you can check that out. Just click this little card thing right up here. But like I said, I found used textbooks off of Amazon. I found free, I know I think it's all-in-one homeschool, free curriculum by grade. There's uh, several different, I guess, subjects on there, but it starts from, I guess, kindergarten to high school, and it's a complete curriculum. I think also Discovery K-12, not K12.com, that's public school at home. Discovery K12.com. They have a complete curriculum for each grade. But like I said, there's a ton of free things and cheaper things on the internet that you can find if you want to make it cheap, at least for the first year, to try it out. Because sometimes people try to homeschool and it don't work out, or they have to go back to work and then they send their kids back to public school, which is fine. But it may help just to be, a little on the frugal side the first year. I think, let's see, this is our third year homeschooling. I think on curriculum and paper and stuff like that, I may have spent maybe $100, $150. Which this next year, because Caden is going into 5th grade, there's several pieces of our curriculum that that I will have to buy, which will be a lot more expensive. So my suggestion when it comes to budget and things like that, as long as you can afford it, get what you need. But if you're trying to be on the frugal side, look on Amazon, find the used textbooks, things like that. So, okay, I'm back. So the next suggestion is to research curriculum. And you're probably like, how do I start? How I found, suggestions is I read blogs. I watched YouTube videos. I went to Amazon and read reviews of each piece of curriculum. Also, even though I am, like I said, I am a secular homeschooler right now, there's a website, I think it's called christianbook.com. If you type in the books or the subjects like that, they actually give inserts of each of the books that they are selling, where you can look to see if that's what you're looking. But my suggestion about researching curriculum is watch YouTube videos, read blogs. There's a ton of information on curriculum. I think there's actually a website that but gives reviews about each curriculum piece or like all-in-one curriculum that you can choose. Also, how I found suggestions is I joined Facebook groups. There are local Facebook groups, but there are several just big Facebook groups from all over the United States and even in other countries that you can ask questions. You can ask for advice on there. There's a plethora of groups on Facebook. I think I'm 5 or 6. I've joined 5 or 6 of them. My also part of the curriculum is join a homeschool co-op, a local homeschool group that you can actually speak with in person that can give you some suggestions. I did that. I joined a couple groups before I even started researching curriculum outside of Facebook. I got on to Facebook and joined groups and then was asking. And there's also a really good thing about these Facebook groups is there will be people that ask certain questions that you can get, suggestions off of what they ask. So Facebook has been my biggest resource when it comes to curriculum and things like that. Excuse. and just a couple other things is, look for, extracurricular activities that, that may be in your budget, that, get your kids out there. Um, get a library card, because the library could be a big resource when it comes to finding books on certain subjects and stuff like that. Um, just, you know, take the opportunity and don't get overwhelmed. Just make a plan and decide on, that you're going to do this or not. And my last thing is I know a lot of people, when you ask questions or have it, but, want advice, things like that. When you pull your kids out of school, decide on if you want to, the first year take a relaxed approach. I know some people call it deschooling. I did with Caden. He had just started second grade. I think he was in school maybe a month and a half, and then we started having really big issues with the school. So I pulled Caden out, and all of second grade we did do school, but it was a more relaxed approach. I didn't buy a ton of curriculum. I bought, I think I bought a math book, like a math workbook. I bought a reading comprehension book, and then did I do a science book? A science book and a language arts. We did the workbooks, but it wasn't like we did it every day. We took the opportunity to explore his interests, watch videos on it, watch movies on it, went to the library. We took several trips to just little places around Arkansas and Oklahoma to just explore, just to kind of take it easy for the first year, kind of, I guess, get out of the mindset of public school and then go to what our homeschool would be like starting third grade. He's now in the fourth grade, and we do, we have our routine of school, what subjects we do. I developed a schedule for him. We try to stick to it as much as possible, and like I said, it's homeschool. If you don't get something done one day, there's always the next day. That's the way I look at it. And as long as your state is more relaxed when it comes to that, as long as you're doing school and they're learning, and I wouldn't say school, as long as they're learning and they love learning, then I think that's the true goal of homeschool. So I'm going to insert a list right now of the suggestions that I just gave, so that way you can kind of slow down and even pause it to write down whatever you need to do. So I hope you like this video. I hope it helps. If you have any questions, you can either post them below in the comments or even send me a message, and I will be glad to answer your questions. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.